All right, so MVP this week, guys. Again, the most valuable person that we're going to. Last week, it was great. We had a lot of great people. There's Abigail and Ginny and Maggie and everybody there, guys. It was a great team effort right across the board here from last week. But we have this one, honestly, fantastic person that won this week here. So we're going to go live to Mary to announce this week's winner of the MVP status. So we'll go live to Mary.
All right. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate the Dream Team for being #1 last week across Canada.
Let's give Mary and the Dream Team #1 across Canada, guys. Great job.
All right, this person that's our MVP for this week is definitely deserving. I know there were so many, as Mark mentioned, but he really outstands. January 21 of 2018, in the middle of a snowstorm, I had to stay in Edmonton for a week and field train this amazing person. And I told him that, remember, I have 4 lives I had to leave behind. I have 3 children and a husband, but they have to take care of themselves because I have to take care of you. So please make sure my week is worth it. He actually booked over 10 appointments that week and solid appointments. We did close to 20 points that week. I should say close to 7,000 APV. And 3 months after he was in the business, he actually won a trip to Italy with executives. Yes. And 6 months after being in the business, he won another trip for 2 to Hard Rock Cafe in Mexico. Just this year, from January to June, he did close to 40,000 APV. In second cycle this quarter, last quarter, close to 30,000 APV already. Onwards to his 9th Grand Diamond. Our MVP for the week, Al Santos. Woohoo!
Al Santos!
Thank you, Mary, for that beautiful introduction. Promise, my speech will be shorter. All right. Anyhow, I am truly grateful and humbled to be chosen as the highlight of the week. I really did not expect that. But anyhow, I'd like to start by giving thanks and glory to the Almighty Father, our Creator, for all His blessings, despite the pandemic that's still roaming around. So I am also truly thankful and blessed for being part of my amazing D6 family, where the Eagles and Champions belongs to, and not to mention as the #1 district in Canada. Woohoo! How's that? All right. I wrote a few things here. The reasons why I am still in this business. One of the reasons that works for me, I think, is putting the mission in my heart and in my mind. Since the beginning, I joined Combined. That is to embrace and put always the mission, which is to protect as much individuals and families for the unexpected and put a good foundation under their foundation as shown in the financial house. So also I want to be the proud flag bearer of Combined as the leader of supplemental insurance in North America, and also by changing the face of insurance. Second thing is claim stories. For me, this is a big one as well. Thank you to our leaders by adding claims corner on our meetings. For me, this is a big key to show that our company pays claims and it really works. Just like my client, who is a machine operator, suffered an ulcer by taking prescription medication, spent 2 months in the ICU, spent another 2 months to recover room in the hospital. So because of their protection of hospital essentials and sickness policy, they were able to claim at least more or less $50,000. And at the end of the day, this family came back to me and thanked me where I was able to protect them and made a difference in their lives. So with that note, there goes my referrals. So as we all know, referrals are 90% sold, especially in our community, in the Filipino community. Claim generates sales and referrals. It's the power of the word of mouth. Because of that story, my clients' friends, family, relatives, acquaintance were referred to me, especially in our Filipino community. Everybody knows everybody. So there you goes your sales. Another thing is planting seeds. For those who are new in the business or in the company, don't get frustrated if a client did not close a sale right away. What is important is that you were able to educate them about our company and products. And at the end of the day, you did what is the right thing to do. As an example, I was visited again by my old friend or coworker, which I was able to present to him 2 years ago at work while we are on break. He finally got their new house and was reminded about our products and my Cecil, and finally came to my place and signed the whole family for their protection. Also, I also did the reviews and follow-ups last few weeks. Reviews and follow-ups are really great opportunity to meet old clients, and who knows, they would ended up adding policies which would be beneficial, especially if there's a gap on their protection. I also don't easily give up to my prospect clients unless they say no to me. So their names are on my walls on the sticky notes. Follow-ups and timing is also crucial because I believe there's always a perfect time for everything. And the last note that I have here is accountability. This is our own business, so it is our responsibility how we will grow our business. By the way, I want to thank our only Mark, the one and only Mark Andrew, for his unrelenting support and guidance for all of us to reach our goal. Thank you, Mark, for giving us your concern for everybody to reach our goal. Just like soldiers, they need a lot of training before they go to the battlefield. So our training ground is the training every Monday and Thursday. We need to master our products, just like what I told Brother Joel. It seems like even though when you're sleeping, you know what is HEA and HES from top to bottom. For these are the main products that we have. And also this would help us answer every question that a client will throw to us. So let's make as much appointment as we can, as per our training, at least 10 appointments. For these appointments are the keys to generate sales. Thank you for Mary, to Jeannie, to Maggie, Randy, Janelle, Abigail, Dan, and to all our champions who always inspire us to move forward and soar high in the sky as eagles with gold, platinum, and diamonds on our wings. On that note, thank you to all our dynamic leaders. We appreciate all that you do, guys. You're the best. Let's keep soaring high. God bless to all, and we got this, D6. Thank you.
Yeah, let's give it up. Mr. Al Santos. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Let him hear it, guys. Woo. Gotta be the sweetest, nicest human. Sure. It's incredible. Mary forgot to tell us that he was born in a manger. This guy's, yeah, we already knew that. Visited by three kings. Okay. But honestly, Al, you guys hear it, and it's just genuine. The thing I love about Al is you're listening to exactly who he is. Because what sometimes what we tell ourselves is a story, but Al doesn't got time to tell himself a story. You know this is what he talked about. Have the mission in your heart that you want to go and protect people. Mind-blowing, right? You've never heard that before, right? Second thing he says, claim stories. Thank you guys so much for giving me claim stories so then I can go share this to people, because that is the power of the word of now. How crazy, you guys ever been on Monday trainings? Claim stories, right? And you're like, oh, I've never shared one, right? Crazy. Number 3, referrals. His entire business is referrals. He goes, when I get somebody sat down from me, he's like, it's anywhere from like 50 to 90% sold. Crazy. Planting seeds. Sometimes they don't, and you know, guys, even listen to this, what he said. And it may have been just the way he said it. The client didn't close on themselves on the sale today. He's providing the information, giving everything he's got. Let the client, you have to ask them, hence that part. But what he's saying is like, it's okay if they don't close that day, because over time they will. I'm going to continue to follow up with them, continue to give them everything I got. He doesn't quit on them. Isn't it a different way of thinking? Instead of being like, oh, I didn't close them today, he's like, I give them everything I got. If they didn't do today, that's okay. Most of his people, he closes at 1 o'clock at night. Maybe there's a strategy in the morning there, but that's what he's putting into things. Reviews and follow-up. And then he says accountability. That's probably the toughest thing here, is showing up, being on the trainings, learning. What does he say? The training ground. This is our training ground every single week. I mean, the way he says it is just so philosophical. He's talking about diamonds and wings and all that kind of stuff that I can't even come up with. And he's just phenomenal, but he's just saying the exactly simple things that we need to do, but he's not putting the fluff around it. He's not going like, okay, I got to go do this and then this first and this first. You're going to see a lot about this in training today. He's just like, what works? Oh, okay. What did he say? What is Dan doing? What is Kelly doing? What is Paige doing? What is Mary doing? What are they all doing? I'm going to do that. Not, I'm going to do the exact opposite of that. Honestly, Mal, you are honestly one of the best people I've ever met in my life. Let's give him a huge round of applause. And he gave Mary a nice little sick burn. All right. All right. So next up, winter is coming. Hey, who's celebrating? Look at that. People are like, what? Ooh. We're playing Game of Teams right now, guys. So it's North versus the South here. Here's the tally so far this week. So we're 32-22. Basin West called in so far, guys. So this is really good. We know we had Sherry doing 10 points there. So really adding to that thing there. But guys, it's neck and neck. It can happen anytime in the day. We're back to back here right now. So honestly, this is what's called in so far moving forward. So great job, everybody there. And again, this is what we're fighting for, is a shield that you're going to have engraved if you're gold, platinum, or diamond, and get your name there forever, and then it sits there for the whole year until the next battle and the last quarter of every year. So it's going to be there. You're getting engraved in the D6 shield. And then on top of that, the gathering of the Eagles, we have the party wherever that team wins. So we have to, if the South wins, we all go down to Calgary. Every one of us goes down there and make sure we go join it there. And if the Edmonton wins, then everybody comes here to Edmonton. Who's excited about that? Is it going to be North or South? The North, okay. Awesome. So let's go break some records, and we'll take a nice little 10-minute break here. So it's we'll come back at 9:50 and get everything rocking and rolling. Great job, everybody. Congratulations, Al.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Let's get things started. Turn your neighbor, give him a high five. So let's get things started. All right. So we're going to launch this puppy. So guys, but first things first here, we have a little thing. Can I get to the front of the room? Randy Spencer, Jordan, Kelly, Jolene, Paige, Candace, Cleo, Dan, and Abigail, all to the front of the room right now.
For what?
You're in trouble.
This is trouble. So obviously, these people from not last week, but the week before that, for King of the North, for the competition here we have. So Randy got to go up to play Plinko for his team here. So Randy's going to hand out all the $50 keg that he picked for everybody. So you want to hand those out, Randy? Let's give it up for the North!
Wow.
Big guns, colossal guns, Jordan. Thanks, Kelly.
And Randy Spencer, oh, bring it in, guys. Like to bring it in, bring it in. Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah. Sneak it in. Okay, one more. Oh, yeah. That's it. That's the stuff right there.
All right, let's give it up for the North. Now let's bring up the sun. No, just joking. That's for me. All right, guys. So, guys, there's going to be some more battles for this certain week when we can go extra, personal battles, and you want to be jumping on that team that goes the extra mile, guys. So, great job, everybody there from the prizes. Everybody's going to the keg by the look of it. All right. So, before we get into today's training, we're going to bring Mr. Dan Swanston up here. So the plan is he's going to go through some information. We're going to go out to the breakout rooms and the big groups, and then we're going to report and share back the information, and we're going to do a bunch of those. And if we have quite a few of them today, how it's going, we might even have a part 2 to this next week here, and Dan looks good here. But just before we get into that, guys, we want to make sure that we're setting this tone right, because again, there's certain things that, and remember the 4 pillars, like again, if you're studying success, you're going to get better. Right? And that's the whole thing. It's not because, somebody else is better than anybody else. It's just that person's further down the line and they understand the journey a little bit further. Yeah. And they've been studying people. So honestly, every day, guys, it's like I've been in sales for 10 years, gone out there, done everything like that. This is the new journey, but I'm also learning how to learn in business because I don't know a whole lot in business. A lot of people think, oh, I know everything. I don't know everything, and I want to learn how all those different things work. So understanding how to build this business better so we can get better and better and better. But it's inspiration from everybody, every single person here, right? You shouldn't be upset at Al today, right? You shouldn't be like, oh, he's just telling things wrong, right? He's telling exactly what to do, and you should be like, okay, that's success. Because when I used to go to see people in front of the room all the time, I'm writing notes. I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay, and then I go home and I review them because I want to be successful. Right. If you had the success, you'd already be doing it. It's a crazy philosophy. And here's the 4 things that I've learned from all successful people. I don't know. Some people are good speakers. Some people are not good speakers. Some people are just hard workers, and some people are this and that. But here's the 4 pillars. And what are they? 1, show up to everything. Don't miss anything. And here it is. This is the reason why. If you can be in the room, be in the room. And if you can only be on Zoom, only be on Zoom. But here's the reason why. Because as soon as you do that, you start to putting in doubt in your mind that it's not worth it. So you're like, I don't have to go to training today. I'm just going to be on Zoom. Or I know I don't have to go to training today because I don't need to go. You're telling yourself it doesn't even matter if I go or not. We're talking 2 times a week, 4 hours a week. That's crazy. It's 4 hours total of a week. And you're like, no, I don't know, right? The second pillar, do not be late. The one thing that we all share, the common denominator, is that we have time. There's 24 hours in a day. If you're late, that means you don't care and respect time. That's why if you start to make sure you're on time for everything, people will start to you start to respect people, and you won't have people canceling, and you won't have people being late on your appointments. It's amazing what starts to happen once you start to respect yourself and understanding that time is everything. So if I have a meeting with Jordan, I'm going to be 15 minutes early because if something happens on the way under the traffic, I still give myself a 15-minute buffer, right? So that's understanding that kind of thing. Number 3, when you're in a place, like in training, be present. There's like your strategy that you're on, and I can see it, guys, on Zoom, just to let you guys, I'll call this out. I can see that you're doing other stuff, right? It's just over here, right here, and like your camera's off. Obviously, you're not lit, like it doesn't matter. Unless you're at work or something like that, you have it in your pocket. We do have those eagles that have it in they're at another job right now as they're transitioning full time. They have it in their pocket and they're listening. That's one. But most of the time, if I know it's tough in Zoom, but if you're not plugged in, like look at Janelle. Right? She's plugged in, she's given everything on, and now look at the success. It doesn't show up at the beginning. So be present, be there, be attentive, because why are you even in the room? Why would you even be at training if you're not paying attention, trying to get everything out of it? And then the 4th thing, the biggest thing, what is it? Add value. Add value at training. When we ask to share, and you have a wicked share, a wicked win, share that. You should have something that you want to share to the world because people start to recognize the people that are sharing. You know what I mean? People start to recognize. Do you ever know who Richard Branson is? Why? Because he shared. You know who Elon Musk is? Yeah, because we know we're talking about him. He shares, he's on interviews. So you need to start practicing your interviews right now and be making sure you have this 30 seconds to share and you want to give everything to the world. So it's adding value every single time. If you do those 4 things, I don't know how it works, and you're going to see the video today, it's kind of a miracle. That over time, if you just do that, just those 4 things and add value, which means you're doing your appointments, it's amazing what happens. Look at this. This is how life works. See this first thing? I don't know if you can see this in the corner. I'll take a picture of it. But week 1, we did 124 points. At the start of the 13 weeks. Look how much I got colored in. Does it show like there's a dent yet? Right? It's the beginning. It's the toughest thing to get started on the 10 points, the 10 appointments. It's the toughest to build the habit up. And that's why you don't see the results that you're looking for. But as it starts to go up, you'll see weeks and it goes like this, and you're coloring the whole strip right across the middle. But this is how it shows in your life. So you have to understand, just start to trust it. Be like, I'm stopping at nothing this week to do 10 appointments. So when Dan's going through this training today, how can I get 10 appointments? The whole point of Dan doing this is to show you different avenues that he's gone through, that he's learned from everybody else here to share across the board. So you need to take your notes and being present and adding value to your training so you can go with this. So when we go to the breakout rooms, you're adding as much value as possible, bringing in as much energy as possible because it's your life. Why not do it, right? Because remember, everybody has a force field, right? Just to set this up again, everybody has a force field around them, right? And at a car dealership, hey, what are you doing here? Oh, I'm just looking. Well, no kidding. That's what you do with eyes, right? But the idea is that that's our first brush off. Somebody comes up to you in the mall, you see those people with the hand lotion? You dodge them, right? You don't want to be around them because that's your force field because you don't want to be sold. Everybody has it, but it's a weak force field. But here's two things. Remember this. If you go after them, hey, want insurance, Kelly? What does that do? This is Randy actually from last training. It powers their force field up a bit. Oh, you want to talk about insurance? Check you later. Now it's more impossible, right? Because you don't know what's going on in their brain form. But so understanding the best formula of this, Dan's going to talk about 10, 15 different things, 20 things that we're going to talk about and bring it through to how to break down people's force fields and different avenues to go get it. But here's the number one thing, and Al said it. What's the number one to break down force fields? Claim stories, yes? Ask questions. Bam, thank you, Kelly. Referrals. If somebody else sits you in front of them, it's 40% sold. Your whole brain today is like, everything that Dan's talking about is based on referrals. Think of like, how can I get to this person? Because you don't want to just keep going out there and doing all these things all the time. It's so much work, but if you can gain referrals, it's 40% done. It just breaks them. If Abigail uses her credibility to talk to Kelly about me, it's 40% done. If we're sitting down, the whole thing's based on Abigail and credibility between there. Do you know how much easier it is to break down somebody's force field if somebody else refers you to somebody? Hey, this is my friend Dan. Caleb, meet my friend Dan. He's super funny. You're super funny.
Hello, Dan. Looking
kind of looking. They become friends. You guys, that's how people get introduced. Does that make sense? Yeah. That's the thing about the best secret you can do about it. So Dan's going to go through all these things. Listen, make sure you're paying attention and pick a few things and make sure we're breaking into it, guys. Because the number one thing here is referrals to break through all these things. So guys, honestly, Dan has been here since the get-go. He's known this thing. He's got beat up. He started BNIs. He started networking. Everybody knows who this guy is in the networking world here because he's been putting in the time. He went to every chapter. He started to do this. He got his head beat up. He said, it actually took him, how long did it take you to even get into a BNI?
About 6 months.
About 6 months to get into the very first BNI because they didn't understand what accident and sickness insurance was. That's a true story. I had to do different interviews with different chapters and stuff like that just to get in. And then over time, he became a president and everything and showed the company what it is. But it took him 6 months just to get accepted. So you were like, oh, I don't know about this chapter. It took him 6 months to get into one. So that's what things about paving the way. So he's learned a bunch of things. And we know we have a lot of trailblazers that are going through it. But this is one of the guys that honestly set up networking. That's why he's got the networking award pretty much like every single time because he's gone out there and done this time and time again. So guys, pay attention. Get your notes ready to go here. The number one guy, Mr. Daniel Swanston. Mic him up.
There we go.
Daniel.
Woo-hoo!
Let's give him a round of applause.
There we go. Clicker. Thank you. All right, thank you. Good morning, D6.
Good morning.
Oh, that was a very warm welcome. Okay, so guys, do you know why I have a picture of pens and hands with pens? Because I want you guys to write notes. This is going to be information heavy, so I want to make sure that you're actually writing notes down because some of you have seen this training before, but some of you need a refresher because this is literally, you guys like, if you had a treasure, would you want the treasure map?
Yes.
Okay, so if you're on a treasure hunt, this is going to be a treasure map, writing down notes about the strategies I'm about to give you, okay? Right. Now, who here knows what a bottleneck is? Okay. Who would like to introduce? Yeah?
What it is, it's where everything, you're putting things in the funnel and you put in so much, but sometimes there's a bottleneck where it gets stuck, so it can't go through. But if you put it in, like, if you know what you're doing and you do it smoothly and you do it with knowledge and wisdom, then everything just flows beautifully through.
Exactly. Round of applause for Abigail. That's right. So a bottleneck is a point of congestion in any production process. So in our business, the biggest bottlenecks that I can see are two things. For one, the biggest bottleneck is going to be our own mindset about ourselves, right? Now, Mark is like basically beating us over the head with making sure that we're not getting in our own way when it comes to basically maximizing our business, okay? But the second bottleneck that I can see, the main pinch point that I can see is how many agents here are finding a hard time finding enough people to talk to book 10 appointments in a week, right? We've all been there. That's a bottleneck because it's not like if you have a great presentation, you know the product, is your bottleneck is how can I get this in front of as many people as possible, okay? So I want to talk about that bottleneck. So keep in mind, guys, this is a 100-year-old company that nobody knows exists, okay? And a big part of the reason why nobody knows exists is because the company spends no money on marketing and advertising, okay? So instead of spending the hundreds of millions of dollars in marketing and advertising and saving that money, it makes it a lot easier for them to pay out hundreds of millions of dollars in claims to Canadians and Americans alike, okay? So what do you think from a client perspective people would prefer? An insurance company that's really well branded, you know the name very well, or an insurance company that you don't know as well, but is basically the best of the best at paying out claims? Exactly, okay? So how many people heard of Manulife? Yeah. They spent $100 million last year in marketing and advertising, okay? Who here's heard of Gecko or Geico? Yeah. Gecko? They spent $1.94 billion last year on their marketing, okay? Now think about that. So what does that tell you?
Money goes to advertising.
Exactly, so I mean, what we have here is actually an insurance product that if people actually knew about it, our biggest bottleneck here is people don't know that we actually exist, okay? So that's our bottleneck. So we have to get creative in our ways of being able to create avenues that we can actually get out in front of people and do this. Because let's be honest, like when I go and do a presentation for people, 95% of the time they're shocked. They can't believe it. What are typical responses you hear? This sounds too good to be true, Dan. Where were you guys all my life? You know how many times I've been injured and got nothing for it? Okay. Or how about this question? How can you guys afford to pay out claims? These are all really good questions to ask when you're exposing someone to your company. It's a positive thing. It sounds too good to be true. I'm like, wow, that's a great thing to hear. It's actually as good as it sounds, but we'll get into that later. Okay. So the main trick for you guys is getting out there in front of people to do this. And that's why people that have no sales skills whatsoever can come into this office and kill it. Because you don't have to be a crafty salesperson and a salesy salesperson to be good at this, because all you have to be good at is giving good solid facts and information and connecting with people and letting them make the decision for themselves. The product really truly does sell itself. Does that make sense? Okay, so we're going to get into our strategies now, all the things I've learned over the years that have really helped me, and I hope that you guys take a lot out of this. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so we're going to start off with the traditional combined way of doing this, because let's start with the basics. Okay, there we go. Warm market. So everyone knows what warm market means. It means people that know your name. Anyone that knows your name should be in your warm market. They should be someone that you'd be willing to contact. Okay. Second up is residential door knocking. Definitely not something I've ever done, but hey, there's no shortage of doors to knock on, is there? If you're really focused, you could do it. Key system, another one. Once you finish a sale, you go to that client's neighbors and across the street and let them know, introduce yourself, let them know that you have something that you believe will interest them also. Fair enough? Business to business. How good is our product for business owners? Okay, so what if you walk into a series of businesses, maybe spend an hour a week walking into businesses, introducing yourself and letting them know you have a benefit that would be especially beneficial for them, okay? Referrals, like Al said, like we were touching on, that's probably one of the biggest things that you can do is get good at getting referrals, okay? Why do all of the work from scratch when you have people that believe in what you do or excited about the insurance that you just taught them about, and all you have to do is convince them to introduce you to their inner circle, okay? Next up, e-leads. Who here likes e-leads? Yes. It's made our lives way easier. So now we can actually track our clients. How much easier is it to get an upsell on a current client and to get referrals from a current client? Way easier. It's way easier. Come on, guys. Okay. Revisit your existing clients and the 3-foot rule. I think Maggie Lamb's probably one of the best at this. You know what? If someone's within 3 feet of you, it doesn't hurt to say, hey, how you doing? Take an interest in them, ask them a few questions, and navigate your way to seeing if there's a way that you can connect with them, either for an opportunity or as a client. Okay, that's when your confidence is at the max. Okay, so This is how a lot of people in combined have made their hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars just by doing this, okay? And that's not even, this is just the beginning. This is not even tapping into all the other things I've tried. But people can make their 6 figures just off doing this alone if they're really good at it, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into a breakout room and discuss different and extra strategies that you can put in place with the combined system, okay? So I hope you guys wrote down notes of all the points, because now you have to talk about them.
Right on. Let's get down to the huge round of applause for that first part. Yeah. All right, guys. So we're going to go to the breakout room for 4 minutes and just honestly share some ideas of how you could add some of these new things right here. We'll go click back to the screen before, and we'll put it in the group of things that you can add to your business right now. How could this help in your business and everything like that? And just share some ideas, and we'll come back in 4 minutes and share a few things. Make sure you have one delegate to share one cool thing you guys came up with. All right. Welcome back to your neighbor. Give them a high five and say thank you for the shares. All right. So we're going to get rock and rolling here. We want to just a quick 20, 30 seconds from each delegate, from each team, so we can just quickly get something that you guys learned from it. So obviously, guys, this was not to add things to that list. It was just to how could one of these things now add to what I'm doing, right? Like the T system or something like that. So we'll get a quick share from everybody, just quick 20, 30 seconds from each group here. We'll start off right on this team here.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Paige here. So one thing that we really talked about was like the name dropping. So if you have a client that's in a specific business, for example, going to other businesses that are in the same industry because they saw value for this. Now I'm here to introduce myself to let you know why this welding shop saw value in what we have to offer. And I just want to educate you because you probably don't know it existed just like he didn't.
Job. All right, let's go over here to Candace's
Delegate Cleo.
Hey, Cleo here. So yeah, we talked about using the T system when you go B2B, like, hey, Tim across the street actually told us to come by. He thought that this would be such a great product for you as well. So just using that and realizing when you go like business to business, it's about the owner because they need it, but it's also about their employees as well. So it's like getting your foot in the door. And then also like really understanding your warm market. There's a lot of people that you probably have never even thought of. So just like going through your Facebook list, like how many people have like 600 people on there and you're like, I actually don't know any of them, right? But you just go through. And then, so I have like a page, it's called like a top 100 and it has like 100 different careers. And you actually would write like every person you know from that career, whether it's like that person's cousin or your doctor or whoever it might be, but it actually makes you realize, hey, I actually have now 100 new people that I can go out there and contact. So just understanding that and putting it to work.
Right on.
Top 100 lists of all people that have different careers, guys. That is genius. All right, let's go to Janelle's group.
Hi, good morning, everybody. Everybody had kind of the common one that they want to try and implement, and it's the B2B and the 3-foot rule, because Maggie makes it seem so easy.
Yes, 100%, the 3-foot rule, and obviously those types of things where you can just talk to anybody anytime, and how to do that, maybe going through surveys and whatnot. Fantastic. Let's give it up for that group. Great job. All right, let's get the other Zoom group.
So yeah,
go ahead.
We talked about the same thing, the 3-foot rule and the B2B, but with the 3-foot rule, we said we just need to, once you're with people, start talking to them and work on your elevator pitch. Just have your quick 30 seconds, like, this is what I am, this is who I am, this is what we do, like, get that ready. And the B2B, we talked about reaching out to their contractors and doing surveys, a quick Google Doc, just adds to your network. You get easy 5 questions, bang.
Awesome, Shane. Great job. Let's give that a huge round of applause, guys. Great. And remember, guys, if you're like, well, what's my elevator pitch? It is your promoter talk. Very easy to start up your 30 seconds, and then you can go into anything, right? If you're going, hey, I got this thing, I think it's $4,200, right? You guys make sure it's promoter talk to start out. All right, let's go to Calgary.
Okay, so we have Warm Market is you can do all the kids event, a birthday party, organization, home party for that. And B2B, we will have walking in the construction sites with coffee.
Genius, Maggie Lamb. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Ginny and Maggie used to always go to construction sites with coffee, right? Because then you have something to give, right? So great job, Maggie. All right, and the last team.
right, we have Debbie here. Woohoo!
So just a few things we thought, maybe going to trade shows, networking that way, doing like a Q&A on like a Zoom meeting, posting on Facebook saying, hey, this is what I'm doing, come join me. If you're interested in hearing about the program. What else? Join networking groups, community groups, survey at malls. So we had a lot of things. Raffles,
Right on.
contests.
Right on, some great groups there, guys. All right. Well, fantastic. And that's what we're going to be doing next, guys, is get into all the other ideas, right? We just want to be using what Dan's going to be talking about to add to it, to add to what you're doing right now. How could this help and get your game a little bit better? Just giving you more avenues to go out there and change it, right? Because when you start saying things, it becomes real. All right, Dan, take it away for the next one. Give everybody a huge round of applause.
And so great job, guys. So yeah, as I said, when we're going to be going to our breakout rooms, it's going to be based on the topics that are being discussed at that point, because we are going to touch on all those points. So make sure that whatever the list is, that's what you're going to be elaborating on. Okay. So right on. Next up, double click, boom, networking opportunities. So as mentioned before, this is how I actually built up my entire business. Back when I started this, I didn't really know how to do combined. We had no training from the company, so I was like, well, my network sucks, so I got to find a bunch of new friends and a new network of people to actually do business with. So that's how I built myself up. So when it comes to networking, there's two main types of networking that we're going to talk about. And I know some of you have seen this before, but there's going to be structured networking that we're going to talk about first. That is where you join a networking group that meets up on a regular basis, and you build relationships and you build credibility within that group so that people can trust you enough to start referring you to their clients and back and forth. Okay. So I know there's a few of us that are in networking groups right now, but let's talk about what some of them are. There's networks called like the Synergy Network. There's ARBN, Alberta Referral Business Network. There's BNI, which is probably the biggest and most popular one. That's where I started my networking. Edmonton Dollar Club, Chamber of Commerce, associations. Now this one here I really want to touch on. I don't know why there's not more of us joining different associations. Like, I mean, how else are we going to infiltrate the city? I mean, you have to plug yourself into professional established groups and associations. Is that a professional established group?
Yes.
It's not a rhetorical question. The answer is yes. So yeah, associations. So things, for example, a teachers association, electrical association, tennis, sports. There's literally an association for just about anything you can think of. We need to start plugging ourselves into associations. Okay. I'm part of the roofing association, and like Mark had said before, it took me 1.5 years for them to give me the time of day. And once I finally got through to the board and showed them what we have, they're like, oh my God, you need to join our association. Our association needs this. So how many other associations need to know about what we have? Okay, what are we waiting for? Okay, so, and last one is unions. Unions are a great one. They're not the easiest to get into, but like with our product, how many unions could benefit from knowing that our coverage even exists? All of them. Also not a rhetorical question. Okay, so now touching on these types of topics here, let's elaborate, let's break out, or no, sorry, we're gonna go into unstructured networking next. Sorry, got ahead of myself. Unstructured networking, this is where you have networking events throughout the city. There's no structure, you basically show up, there's typically wine and cheese. Who here likes wine and cheese?
Yeah.
All right, so there's something in it for you as well. But yeah, there's unstructured networking. You show up with a bunch of other networkers. This is actually where typically the highest caliber of networkers go, is actually to unstructured networking events, because they like the free flow style of it. It's not like a meeting. It's not a meeting that's following an agenda. You basically show up and you basically, whoever's the most likable wins the game. Okay, so try to be likable. Okay, so different examples of unstructured networking. The Art of Conversation is a great one. North Edmonton Business Association. South Edmonton Business Association, like the Edmonton Business, there's literally a business association for different sides of the city. Toastmasters is like a public speaking networking group. Meetups, there's all kinds of meetups. You literally have to type in meetups and you can find out all kinds of meetups that you can join. Personal development seminars. So I've touched on this before. Personal development is a huge part of our business. We should all be doing something to personally develop ourselves. But when you actually join groups or things like that, you're literally plugging into a bunch of other people who are self-employed trying to build something. So it's a great way to kind of get yourself plugged in with other professionals from other industries. Okay, so I know that it's COVID right now, so a lot of these guys probably aren't fully up and running, but when things do return to normal, you want to get in on these because these are happening literally at least once a month or sometimes once a week. So, I mean, for those of you that are like not into the networking, like you should be putting yourself, if you don't have a network and you're running out of warm market, you should be meeting new people on a regular basis. Okay? So, yeah, the bold strategy, okay? So now we're gonna break out again, okay, guys? So based on structured and unstructured networking, please elaborate on different ways that you can actually optimize this experience and this opportunity to meet new people.
All right, so we'll break out to the break rooms for 4 minutes, guys. Remember, you're going through those two lists here and figuring what are the best things you can add to what you're doing right now and what you love and what you can kind of or give extra energy towards. All right, so we'll come back in 4 minutes. Great job, Dan. All right, welcome back, welcome back. Turn your neighbor, give him a high five and say, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so that was exciting, guys. I mean, obviously just hearing some great ones there. So let's start off again, the same go around here. We'll start off here with group as a one.
Rapid fire.
Okay, awesome. So with structured networking, this is your long game. Like this is not something that you can show up once in a while and expect a ton of business. This is, I'm committing to this and I'm trying to add the most value so people recognize me because they're all there trying to build their businesses too. So it's about being consistently in that networking group over a longer period of time, adding the most value. On the unstructured side of things, this is if you don't want as much commitment, meetups are super random here and there. You get to pick and choose when it works best for you within your calendar. So you can do both. You just have to make sure that it's not overlapping. But yeah, with the unstructured, one tip as well is like, if you're going to a meetup for say like a running club, be a runner, like actually have some interest in what they're doing so then you can add more value.
Right on. Let's give that a huge round of applause.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm a walker actually. Anyways, yeah, so for the unstructured, we had like 2 points, like look for the person who's like kind of in charge of the room. They can, take you around, introduce you to more people and just like have fun with it. And also just approach the people that are maybe shy and just not as outgoing because then, they're probably not talking to anyone, but at least you can talk to them. And for structured, pretty much the same thing as Paige, like just really not being there to be like, hey, I'm selling you, but actually creating those relationships and understand that it might be a longer process, but you'll be able to get more referrals out of it that way.
Fantastic. Cleo in the house. All right, let's go to Janelle's group.
Awesome. Good morning, everybody. For the structured part of the associations we just talked about, well, I suggested that if you have a kid or children, small children, they're getting associated with other families and things like that. I was told to borrow a child because I don't have any, but just be the same thing, like being in that type of environment and doing the things that you are being in that association for. And then with the unstructured ones, we talked about the Toastmasters, and it was brought up that people that are in Toastmasters kind of feel the same way that you are if you're in that position where you don't feel as confident and things like that. So you guys can all kind of collaborate and feel that way together and then grow from there, which is fantastic.
Right on. Let's give that a huge round of applause. Great job. All right, the other group here on Zoom. Shane?
Is that us?
Yes.
It's Nikki. So we just said to be friendly and the art of conversation. So being open to talk to pretty much anyone. Volunteering and giving back will build trust as well. And then for BNI, everything's online now. So most of them you can meet with any chapter, which is awesome.
Phenomenal. Let's give that a huge round of applause. It is online. You can join these things, meetup groups, everything online, guys. Great job. All right, let's go to Calgary. Quick rapid fire.
Right on.
Okay, hi there, it's Ginny. So we focus a little bit more on the unstructured networking. Much like what Nikki's group said, volunteering is an awesome way. Everybody is chatting with each other and finding out what each other's doing for work or whatever in their free time, as well as trade shows and community markets. Usually there's obviously a lot of small businesses there. People are just walking around. So instead of actually
doing a trade show yourself, we found it's actually best to just walk around trade shows and talk to all the individual tables and even the people in the room. And then breakfast clubs and Facebook groups too are great unstructured networking opportunities as well.
Yes, let's give them a huge round of applause. Great job. Breakfast clubs, delicious. All right.
One more from Marie.
All right. So if there are no association, create your own. Organize. Make sure that your hobby is aligned with that group as well. So a walking group, like a mom's group, walkie-talkie, single parents club, join into those. Divorce and separation clubs, join into those if your relationship is in that stage. If you're interested into sports and different activities, join into those. Creating hobbies that are making you networks of birthday parties and stuff like that, and plug into any current events and join into that and just add value to inputs towards other people. Woo-hoo.
Awesome. Great job. Get into the hobbies. Give everybody a huge round of applause. Great job. Take it away, Dan.
Right on, guys. That was like a wicked session of sharing, you know, especially about like the playing at the long game. Networking is a long game, but the skills that you develop along the way is really what it's about. And I really want to, me and Mark were chatting about associations during the breakout. Honestly, I think that's a key. There's like more than enough associations for each agent in D6. Each agent should be plugged into at least one association to build up your own credibility and to actually educate an entire industry about what we do. Industries have no idea, right? So if we're not plugging ourselves into networking is one thing, but like the associations, I think that's a really big secret ingredient for us because it builds so much professional credibility to be in an association and to educate that industry, and you get to get the credit for it. You look like the hero. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Can I get a D6? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna sneak past this. So guys, well actually no, I'll get into the next one here. Okay, social media, okay? Another secret ingredient, but we're gonna be a little bit delicate with this one because social media is a delicate beast. It's not something that you should be focusing all your time on, okay? It's an add-on to people that are already doing the business, okay? So, obviously, we've all heard of these groups, haven't we? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. You should really be having a LinkedIn account if you are to be a professional, because that is a professional networking platform, okay? So this is basically how you can approach people in your social media network, okay? So for your close friends, when you're close to someone, you don't have to be all formal and professional. You can basically be like, yo, I need to show you what I'm doing. You need to take a look at this. You can walk up to anyone in your family and any of your close friends and be like, yo, you need to look at this, honestly. Let me show it to you. It takes 20 minutes, okay? You should have that kind of, once again, what's the word I'm looking for? Posture with your friends. Thank you, Paige. With your friends, because like you don't even really need to ask. You just be like, I just need to show it to you. It doesn't matter if you buy, I just need to show it to you, okay? For people that are acquaintances, you come with a different approach. You'd be like, you know what? I'd love to show you what I'm doing. You know, I don't know if it's going to be for you or not, but I do know that you're going to really appreciate learning about it. Most everyone else does. So when you're talking to people that you know but don't know super well, haven't maybe talked to in a while, you say, you know, I'd love to show you. Would you be open to learning? Okay, that's the other approach that you can go. And for people that are strangers on your, how many people have strangers on their social media? You know, that random person from Kazakhstan, right?
The creepers. They're called the creepers.
Yeah, the creepers. The people that just add you without sending a message or anything. Connect with them too, okay? So you want to connect over coffee. So you don't want to really get into necessarily saying, I got to show you what I'm doing. If they don't know you, they really don't care about anything that you have to say. So if you don't know them, you just say, you know what, I want to connect with you over coffee, get to know you a little bit. Maybe we can kind of collaborate as professionals, or I can, you know, just treat it as like an opportunity to learn about them, but also for them to have a chance to learn about you. So depending on the degree of your relationship with that person, each person on social media should be approachable. It's just about you tweaking the style that you're going to be approaching people. You know, you don't want to come off as too strong because, let's be honest, it's still insurance, and you have to get people past that mental block of learning about a special insurance that no one's ever heard of before. Make sense? Okay. Has everyone got that part?
Yes.
Okay. How many people have more than 50 people on their social media?
Yep.
How many people have contacted every person on their social media?
Pretty much, yeah.
Candace has. Well done, Candace. D6 one clap. Facebook groups, okay? Yeah, it was a good one, right? So Facebook groups, okay, check this out. Oh, that's too bad. Facebook groups. So basically, if you want to join like a mini community on your Facebook groups, you should find like maybe moms groups or like sports groups, anything that you're interested in yourself. You should be joining that group and trying to build up. Once again, be an interested member of that group. Don't just go in there to sell, but to actually be part of that group. But it's a great way to slowly infuse that you have something to bring to the table. Okay, so having Facebook groups is great. Branding yourself. Now, me and Mark had a really good talk about this. Everyone wants to brand themselves on social media. It's because of the restrictions we have as agents with the company, we have to brand ourselves as individuals, okay? But here's the problem, is that, well, no, we're not gonna get into the problem yet, but branding yourself basically adds values and educates others, okay? You wanna show up that I'm a professional at what I do. You wanna be known as a professional. Your best friend that you went to elementary with won't look at you as a professional right away, but people on social media that see you for the first time presenting yourself or branding yourself, they're gonna see you as a professional. Does that make sense? And they're the ones that you actually wanna convince, okay? Sharing stories. So of course, when you're branding yourself, you want to share stories. You want your audience to be able to connect with you as a person. Okay. It's not just about you being an insurance person, but they want to know that like maybe Dan's a family man. Dan has a cute little 5-week daughter that he just loves to snuggle up on his chest, right? People like that. It's real.
True story.
Be compliant. We all know that there are hard rules with social media and Combine. And Combine is slowly kind of growing into that mold, but we still have to be very careful about what we say and what we present on our social media to keep compliant and stay out of the hot seat with Combine. Make sense? Exactly. Don't promise what we pay on claims. Do not even say the name Combine Insurance and talk about what we pay. You have to keep that very clear, a very clear line of being, you can say you're with Combine Insurance, but you can't say, and Combine Insurance will do this, this, and this, and this for you. You have to be able to separate it, okay? Be proud of where you work, but don't make promises that you can't keep, because that's the claims department's job, okay? And then now when it comes to branding yourself, this was the main point what Marco and I was talking about. You want to live it, be it, brand it, okay? You're in this business to do the work, go out and create the conversations, book the appointments, make the APV happen, get the points, then you can brand yourself as that, okay? But what a lot of people try to do is brand it, try to be it, and try to live it after, okay? You don't brand yourself as a professional first and then be like, okay, now I'm gonna start making some calls, I'm gonna start doing all of the income producing activities. You should be doing that first. The branding is the last step. If you're doing the work, the income producing activities, branding yourself is the last step. You don't brand yourself and be like, well, my job's done. People are gonna be calling me anytime now, asking about this crazy insurance because I put a professional picture on my webpage, right? Nobody cares, okay? People wanna see you doing the work. They wanna see you winning at this game. And then you can brand yourself. And then it's easy because I can be on the fly with an appointment, be like, I'm about to do an appointment on a Zoom, da-da-da-da-da-da. This is me talking to this client. Oh, you know, I had this great win the other day. Keep it real and keep it live, but don't pretend to be something that you're not. Do the work first and then earn the right to brand yourself. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Just thought I'd make that really clear. Okay. All right. Breakout. Oh, strategic part. Oh, okay, we're doing this one. Okay. Okay. All right. So final thing. Obviously, when you should be looking for certain types of professionals to basically align yourself with, so that you can basically refer each other your businesses. So think about all the industries that have synergy with Combined Insurance. How many industries can we refer to and they can refer back to us? Because once you build these professional relationships, that's how you get referrals from people like accountants, lawyers, things like that. So here are a few lists of strategic partnerships. I encourage you to think of more outside of this list, but this is what I came up with. Wills and estates lawyers, great. Accountants and bookkeepers, always giving financial advice. You think they might be able to refer insurance? Not rhetorical. Yes, the answer is yes. Okay, traditional insurance brokers and financial advisors. Honestly, like if you can find these people that actually see the value in what we do, it's one of the most beautiful relationships you can have. They're not easy to find, but when you find them, you want to hold on to them because you can clearly benefit each other, right? Commercial insurance and home and auto insurance brokers. Once again, not exactly in our industry of insurance, but definitely synergy. I'm able to refer home and auto insurance all the time to my clients, okay? And same thing for business insurance, commercial insurance. There are people like, hey, do you do this? I'm like, no, I don't do that, but I know the right person. How do you think that makes you look as a professional When you're not trying to be, oh, I offer all types of insurance. I'm your one-stop shop. It's like, no, I don't do that. You should talk to this person. They're the best at this. That makes you look way better, okay? That way you're not trying to claim to be the best of all things, okay? Occupational health and safety consultants. That one's huge. Do you think they might want to learn about our insurance? Do you think that they may have some clients that might be interested to learn about what we have? Yes. Thanks, Candace. Thanks, guys. Okay. Business consultants, once again, people that are helping people build up their business, establish their business, scale their business, they're in a really good position to be like, you know what, you really should be protecting yourself. So you should be connecting with business consultants. Clients, of course. That's, you know, how many people have that one client that's just like over the moon about our products and they just want to tell everyone. They don't happen all the time, but when they happen, you want to treat them real good. Okay, you want to make sure that, like, you know, let's work together. I want to incentivize you. I want to thank you for introducing me to more people because I can't do it without people like you. We are a word of mouth company, and literally the best way we get around is people like yourselves going out and introducing me to people. I'm going to thank you for it at the end of the month. Okay, that's huge. Other combined agents. Okay, there's going to be times in your life where maybe you have a client in a province that you're not licensed in. Okay, maybe you know another agent that is licensed to sell in that province. You got to collaborate with your fellow combined agents so that you can create mutual wins. So if I have a client in Manitoba and I don't have a Manitoba license yet, but if I know someone else that does, I'll be like, here, let's can you please help sell this person like right away within the next week and like split the commission, work it out amongst yourselves, but like this isn't about competing against. Sometimes we really do need to work together to get that mutual win. Okay, and it's all about client first, is it not?
Yes.
Team, individual, boom. Okay. All right. Insolvency trustees, people that specialize in helping people get out of debt. Do you think that they'd be a good referral partner for us?
Totally.
Okay. Do you know how many debts? Do you have any idea how many debts and like foreclosures are due to disability?
Yes. 43%,
So what's that page? 38 to 43%. That's almost half of all people are suffering because of disability, and these people are the ones helping them get out of debt. That's a really good referral partnership. Okay. I believe that's it. So we're going to break out. No, never mind. Mortgage brokers. What do you think is better than mortgage insurance? Maybe our income essentials.
Anything else?
You think our income essentials approximately pays what a mortgage would be? Up to $2,000. What's the average mortgage? $1,500 to $2,000. So we are really good to talk to mortgage brokers, especially if you got the return of premium option that some people are interested in. Get all your money back. Okay, so anyway, these are just some examples of people you want to connect with in your industry as a professional. What else can you think of? All right.
Awesome. So we're going to go to the breakout rooms here, guys. We're going to take a quick 4 minutes here of breaking out these type of partnerships. Guys, you should be getting excited about this. Like, look at all these different places and different avenues. This is where a lot of Dan's actual sales come from, is all these partnerships that they have, that they call them up with a mortgage broker or anything like that. So you want to be touching base with all these types of people. So great job, Dan. Okay, we'll take 4 minutes, go to your battle rooms, and we'll come back. See you guys in 4. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Turn your neighbor, give him a high five and say thank you for the strategic partnerships. All right, so rapid fire, guys, really quick, just quick 20 seconds, just a quick thing that you guys learned from this strategic partnerships. Let's go ahead. Hey, group one. Hey, group one.
What we were discussing was just like how important strategic partnerships are. And if you do this properly, think about how many leads you're going to get throughout the day, just because you've educated this many people and got them on your mission. So I think this is definitely a place to really hone in on.
100%. Professionals, no more professionals. So great job. Let's give it up for group one. Great job. In the house.
Awesome. Okay, so for like the social media, so we like talked about 2 things. Just talk about the elephant in the room. If you're messaging someone who you haven't talked to in 5 years, that's what I do, and I've actually got a few clients out of it that way. Or you just rebuild a relationship. Understand that you might not talk about what you do right away, but just over a couple months, and then hey, like this is what I actually do. And honestly, join groups that you're actually interested in. Don't just post what you do, because trust me, you will get eaten up alive, and those are not fun. And then also just for strategic partners, like attending sport events, automotive industry, construction, contract workers, temp agencies, so things like that.
Great job, Leo. All right, let's go Janelle's team. Janelle's team.
Good morning. Can you you guys all hear me? Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay,
Sure can.
perfect. So, yeah, perfect. Okay, so we talked a lot about like life insurance and mortgage brokers and things like that. And I was saying it's really key to be a partner with a mortgage broker because by law they have to offer mortgage insurance. However, we all know how that works. So if you can kind of build a relationship with a specific mortgage broker, it's really easy for them to be like, I have to offer this by law, but you should talk to this person with combined insurance. They deal with a lot of my clients and a lot of people love what they do because it's really different and things like that. So it just really helps to build those core relationships.
Wow, great job. Let's give it a huge round of applause. Imagine every time somebody buys a house, they're calling you. Like that's what you want to have a partnership and you want to make sure you thank them very much. All right, go to the next breakout room.
We talked about independent tradespeople having a reciprocal referral program. So if you know plumbers, electricians, that stuff, they obviously talk to a lot of people and you talk to a lot of people that might need their services, which would be great. And then we talked about chiropractors, massage therapists. They're always dealing with people that are already hurt or injured. It would be nice if they have coverage. So if you can get in there and talk to them, they might see the value in this, or they will see the value in this and be able to refer you to a ton of people.
Genius, fantastic. Let's give that a huge round of applause. Great job. All right, go to Calgary, rapid fire real quick.
Thanks, Jeannie. Same thing with the Facebook groups. We said make sure that you're looking for groups that are actually for self-employed business, where writing about your business is acceptable. Like Cleo said, you'll get some nasty comments and then deleted. And then the next thing is construction industry, builders, general contractors for strategic partners, because how many trades do they pass and see on a daily basis for awesome referral partners?
Yes.
All right, and to follow up with that.
Okay. We'll
Sorry,
get them good job.
I'm starting out. To follow up with that, we went focused on loyal clients, center of influence, raving fans, our clients who's already enjoyed the claims, those who claims already, just get them to get their permission to share their story, bring them along to connect on your presentation so they could personally share their story to the audience. That's something that will probably become more real to the audience listening. So that's what we had.
Great job. Let's give it to everybody here, guys, here today. Great job. All right, guys, we're going to continue this next week also, but we're going to get Dan to close up a little bit here, then we're going to go to the video. So give it away to Dan.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is. So, guys, did you learn something today?
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask you this really question. This was about eliminating the bottleneck in our business, right?
Yeah.
Right. So can anyone look me in the eye and tell me they don't know how to find people to talk to? No. We should never hear that excuse again, should we? Okay.
No.
Now, once again, to go back, Mark is the one that's really focusing on the strategies of our mindset to get our minds around not giving ourselves excuses not to go and do this. And what I've done is give you tangible, actionable examples of the things I've already tried that have worked for me that you guys can actually jump on and utilize. Think about this. We have to infiltrate the city. We've barely even touched Edmonton yet. Calgary, we haven't. Can we agree on that? We need to infiltrate the city. There's a million people here, okay? So who here knows about the concept of a Trojan horse?
Yeah.
Okay, so a Trojan horse is basically like, you know, a big horse that you sneak into like a big city with big walls and big defenses so you can get inside and infiltrate, right? Right, does that make sense?
Yes.
Now, what would you prefer? A big old Trojan horse with 5 people inside or 500 people inside?
500.
Why?
Better chance of winning.
Exactly. What's the point of having this big old horse and filling 5 people? We need everyone on board going out there and infiltrating the world. So because people actually like to learn about what we have. Our bottleneck isn't trying to convince people our product's good. Our bottleneck is having enough people to talk to and all of us doing our part to get out there and get it done. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So we are all responsible. Each one of us that's licensed has a responsibility to put ourselves out there. Maybe you'll get beat up a little bit. I got beat up a little bit. But do you think I'm doing okay right now?
Yes.
I'm not suffering. I built myself up, and you all have the opportunity to do that as well. So like I said, you cannot sit on your couch and text your top 10 friends and do the odd social media post and expect to build a business here. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You have to put yourself out there, but I promise you, you will grow from it. And I look forward to finishing off the rest of our strategies in the future. But that's my message for you guys today. And you will let Mark have it back.
Let's give it for Dan Swanson. Great job. Fantastic here. Great job, guys. Honestly, there's so many nuggets here. And guys, honestly, this is the key to our business, learning, getting better, and taking these strategies and what you can put into your day today. I hope this was really beneficial. We're going to have part 2 next week here, but we have a great video here. The first part is Jim Rohn, and he is just, the way he puts things together, he's the guru of, like, you know, understanding things in the best way. And then after that, there's Les Brown in the middle, and at the end it's Brian Tracy, who's the king of sales. So you're going to hear the voices of these certain people here, guys. Take notes. This is phenomenal. And we'll come back and we'll close everything up. Thank you guys so much. Great job, Dan. All right, let's give that video a huge round of applause. Great job. All right, guys, so we're going to get to the R2A2 from today here. The idea I got was what it means to me. Here's how I'll use it. My starting date is. So the idea I got was what it means to me. Here's how I'll use it. My starting date is. And we'll just take a quick 20, 30 seconds to do that. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Turn your neighbor, give him a high five and say thank you for the R2A2. All right, guys. So thank you so much for going a little bit longer here today. We want to get right into this to close this thing out. So first of all, give yourselves a huge round of applause for all the shares, the groups, everything we did here today. So that was fantastic, guys. It is holiday Monday, so we're not going to be doing the training on Monday. And so on Tuesday, we're going to be doing the training. We're going to have Mike Recco. We're going to talk about some new things, some great stuff launching, guys. So enjoy that time with your family, but, you know, make sure you deserve it. Like work until those days. Do everything you possibly can to be with your family, because you know what? Maybe your next Thanksgiving, you guys, your next Thanksgiving is like a super special one. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can change everything, because you know usually what happens on Thanksgiving? You eat a lot, yeah, but you know what, actually, do you actually know where you are every time on Thanksgiving in this company? You're in Mexico, because every time, I've not been home for 4 years for any Thanksgiving because you're there. So next time, guys, when everything COVID's back, you're going to be on the trip, and then you can actually have another day for your Thanksgiving. So get excited about that, guys, right? That's what we're pushing for on the trips here. So make sure you guys have a great Thanksgiving, because next time you're in Mexico. All right, so north versus south, who wants it? All right, guys, make sure it's spiff this week. We know it, guys. Obviously, they got their nice little prizes. Give all the winners their $50 cake gift prize here, guys. That was awesome. And let's go to Mr. Al Santos. What a human being he is, right? He's a miracle worker. But, guys, honestly, again, going out there, being MVP, sharing the things. Listen to what he said there, guys. It's the basics, but it's everything, right? And then Mr. Dan Swanston. Let's give him a huge round of applause. How many ways did he list for us to go out there and improve our business? There's no excuses why I can't talk to anybody, because you need to join associations. You have to get real about this business. How do you think other real estate people and everything builds their business? Is they get out there and let everybody know that they're doing it. The person that shows us the most wins. The people that know that everybody needs to call this. When this thing explodes, what Dan's talking about, the Trojan horse, is when he goes out there, he wants everybody to know that he's doing this. But he can't do this alone, because we need a lot of people to go out there and start bringing this name out there. We need a lot of eagles inside that Trojan horse to fly and make sure it's happening. So we need each other. So, I mean, how good was that today, guys? Let's give him a huge round of applause. We're going to have part 2 of what Dan was doing next week here, guys. So that's really exciting. And then, guys, honestly, hanging around people that make miracles happen. It's about the attitude, right? You got to make sure that you're that person. Who do you want to be around? Somebody that's like, hey, we got a situation here. We want to be number one. Are you a person that's like this? You can be number one. Or are you a person that's like, yeah, how do we get to be number one? What can we do? How can I be my part? Right? That's the kind of the champions that you want to be around in life, because that just makes your whole life a whole lot more positive, right? On top of that, guys, activity is the miracle if you just do your part. And honestly, it's not a joke here. It's if you just do your part of 10 appointments a week, you'll be amazed of what happens. But you've just got to trust it. For the first time, and I know that your whole life you've been lied to, said everything's going to work out. If you just do the activity, that's what every single person that's been successful has done. And they tell us to do the activity, and you'll be blown away what can happen. But just give it, you can't give it 1 week. You can't go this week again and say, no, I didn't do my 10 appointments. You can't show up here next Tuesday and say, I didn't do it. You get an extra day. Make sure you just go do it. Make sure you show somebody, hey, it's a 15, 20-minute presentation. Show them, get 5 done in a day. You can do that, right? Everything is possible if you believe it, right? So, be a miracle worker. Peter was a fisherman. So in our business here, guess what we are? Go out there and fish. But what do we do out there? We go out there and show these people this. And then you'd be amazed. Remember what he said? It's amazing. He was a fisherman and he got fish. It was like, what a brain buster. Wow, you guys, we're salespeople. What do we have to go do? Go out there and show people this business and sell, right? Like, that's our business. You're like, oh, Mark, I don't really want to do that. Then go become a fisherman. I don't know, right? You're like, you got to do what you got to go do here. And this is what it's all about here. So our presentations is our fishing. 10 Go out there. Just, you don't know every single time it's going to link, but if you just throw your rod out there and you show them what this is, most likely they're going to buy, or they're going to remember that you showed them. So phenomenal on that, guys. And the last thing here is your philosophy. Your habits right now, what you do right now. If you go home and you go take a nap right now, that's you. And then this is what it actually equals. Positive habits over time equals success. Negative habits over time equals destruction. How do you think people, like, you think people just one day, like, you know, like, even for me, COVID-19 pounds, it didn't start in day one. It started in the burger the next day, the burger the next day, the burger the next day, and it's a compounded effect. Next thing you're like, you go to the gym, like, oh, this is painful. But that's life. So every single day that you leave here today, if you don't go do your 10 appointments this week, guess what you're doing? A negative result that you can't go do 10 appointments. Jordan, you can't do 10. He doesn't like that. He don't like that. Cleo, you can't do 10. No, you don't want to hear that. Of course I can do 10 appointments. You can do 10 appointments in a day if you wanted to. That's the thing. We build a positive habit. You go, I'm not stopping this week until I get it. It doesn't matter about the result. I'm getting 10 appointments done no matter what, because I want to be on this team with the Eagles. I want to have that Trojan horse, and I want to go do it. But if you don't do it, guess what you're saying? It's okay next week. It's okay next week. It's okay next week. Hey, my kids, it's okay next week. It's okay next week. Guys, this is the habit of success. I'm excited about where we're going because we're starting to build up. You can feel it. And Dan talks, we talk about mindset, because if we don't have it here, it can't go anywhere. But now we know what to do. We know how to do it. We just got to go do it. So make sure you start your 10. Stop at nothing this week to hit your 10. Even if you have to share family members, just go like this. I got to get my 10. And you know what? They'll start to notice that you're just for real. And then you know what? Even more importantly, you'll know you're for real. Just don't let another week go by without you just doing your simple activity. We're not asking for results. We're just asking for activity. Go out there and start changing our lives. Guys, we are the best of the best. The company needs us to even step up to the next level. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and let's go out there and do what we do best, because we're just a six hand. We're just a six hand. We're just a six hand. Turn your neighbor, give them a hand. We got this. Great job, everybody.